Alright, hey everybody, welcome back. This is DAMMONSLLC.com bringing you video 4 of our series of how to create a cartoon head for lip syncing animation. So, excuse me, welcome back. We are going to move on to creating eyebrows. Now, we don't really need excuse me, we don't really need these guide layers, these guidelines anymore, not necessarily. So what we're going to do here is just go into this layer. Since it's already created, I'm just going to rename this E-Brow R. I'm going to name that E-Brow R. Okay. Remembering to always save numerically. We're going to hit Control Shift, hold Shift, Command, and S, or go to Save As and just save this numerically. So we're going to save that as DT4, and selecting this R layer. We're going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit and just go ahead and get rid of that. Now again, using primitive shapes to create your design, we're going to use the line tool. Just go over here and create lines, connected lines of course, for the most part, until we get to the ends. Create a line there. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Using the select tool, we're going to go ahead and start to manipulate this line to get it how we want it. Not bad. So, let's go ahead and zoom in a little further, and we're going to close this line off. Making a couple edges, making a couple lines so that we can, just make this nice and smooth. Perfect. Alright, so we have this, and we're just going to go ahead and fill this in with a black for now. We'll go back in, and if we want to do a gradient or something like that, we can do that as well. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and fill that in. Let's select everything on that layer. Go up to Modify, Convert to Symbol. We're going to save that as DT underscore E-Brow R. Okay. Save that. And we have our first eyebrow. Pretty easy. Go ahead and just align it how we want here. Just move it over just a tad bit. Alright. And we can just go ahead and duplicate this basically. Go into this layer. Select everything, copy it. Go outside of it. Of course, making sure that you're doing it on a separate layer. So we'll go here, select that. We don't need that guideline anymore. We're going to delete that. Come over here, rename this E-Brow. L. Okay. And we'll just go ahead and hit paste. Go to Modify, Transform, flip horizontal. Just go ahead and move it up to its proper place, about where it would be. And hitting the free transform tool or quick key, hotkey Q. We're just going to hold shift and transform this down a little bit. Looks good. Oops. Let's just manipulate it just a little bit. Just transform tool, quick transform tool. If you hover over this top line, you can see how the symbol changes a little bit here on these corners, and that just allows us just to kind of manipulate it on the horizontal axis. If you grab it on this axis, you can manipulate it on the vertical axis as well. So we just want to give it that nice wrapping around effect, like it's really on the, you know, wrapping around the head. And I think that works. Let me move it up a little bit. It's a little register-ish. Okay, having all of that selected, let's go over to modify, convert the symbol. Let's just rename that DT underscore ebrow L. Save that. And that's a good size for that. I'm going to go back in here because this is a little exaggerated. And we're going to select this one. Let's just go in and adjust the size of it a little bit, holding shift. Grab that corner anchor. Let's just go ahead and Alright, so now we have the eyebrows for our character, and let's just look in here and nitpicking a little bit, guys. Go back over to this left eyebrow. Let's just make it a little bit bigger in the main hierarchy of the symbol. See how that looks. There we go. Looks a little better. I'm just going to nitpick this just a little bit just to see where I can adjust it. Probably get it to a really nice spot. And looks good. Okay, so we have our eyebrows here, and let's go ahead and think about making some facial hair. Let's do a little Kevin Garnett little patch on the end of his chin. So we'll go over and make a new layer. Actually, we don't need to do that. Let's just save. Alright, let's go back down over here to the head layer. Let's select that. Let's work on that for a second. And we'll be able to easily do this actually by creating a new layer. Let's just create it right over top of the head, and let's just go ahead and lock that layer. So I can manipulate this and I can make the beard and move it around without it intercepting and messing up what I already created here. So I'll have this, And I mean, how stylized do I really want to make it is really up to you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create an oval here. Let's just get rid of that, and let's just go ahead and work with this. Smooth it up how we want. That's one thing I love about working with Flash. I mean, look how easy that was, just to manipulate those points using the selection tool. I created an oval, and you know, that's a really good stylized look. You know, and I'm going to put a little gradient and stuff like that on the end. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is I'm just thinking, you know, for the future, like if you were doing a lip sync animation, you know, you want the chin to move a little bit. So I'm thinking about this background that I have here with the neck. I want to put that on a separate layer. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer real quick and just call that neck. That's neck. Let's call that neck. Okay, and let's just go ahead and knock that beard layer real quick. Let's go back down to the head layer, and we're going to select everything inside of that head layer with the exception of the chin. So let's just go down here and just select each line. And I also selected that shape here, okay? Now, you don't really have to worry about this later. So we're just going to go ahead and move that down a little bit. Excuse me. Move that this last line. Okay. I'm just going to move all of that. And while I have that individually selected, I'm going to go ahead and go to Modify. And I'm going to convert that into a symbol. I'm just going to call it BT neck. You know, trying to keep my project uniform. So now that that's a whole separate thing, I'm going to go ahead and copy this, cut it. Go down to the neck layer, which would be under the head. Selecting that, just paste in place. And let me just go ahead and move that back up there. And actually, I'm going to make a little more overlapping, like that, so that some of this stuff's not cut away if we do move the head. And these are problems that you will come up with in the future, so it's always good to try to make sure everything's on point. Let's go back in here real quick. And since it's behind a layer, we can bring up the size of it. And we'll do that by using the line tool to just create a little more shape. Put it, drop it tool just to select that color and then just drop it in. Now seeing when I go back and I select everything back, you know, you can't really see it. Now as I was moving the head up and down, you know, you can see that there won't be no white spot in the background and mess it up because it's extended a little longer. So it's perfect that you have it like that. Oh, so now that we have all of that stuff done, actually let's grab the head and save that as a symbol as well. And we'll call that DT_head. Okay. And that's a symbol as well. So we have everything separated, so we got everything where it needs to be. Now going back to this layer here, which I didn't name because we're not going to need it in a second. I'll show you why. We're just going to go ahead and select that, copy it, cut it, or you can just cut it. Let's go ahead and mark that layer, go back to the head, select that head. You see it has this blue box on it. If I was just to put it and paste it here, it wouldn't be anywhere, so we have to go back into this. And let's go ahead and paste in place. And then just move it down to where we want it. Which I think that's a pretty good spot. And let's go ahead and color that thing in. Let's just color it black for now. We'll be able to manipulate it later, which I will put a gradient on there. Deselecting it makes it attached to the whole line now, so I can go in here and delete this because I'm not going to need it. And let's just go ahead and fill that in with the black. Go back. And there we go. We got a chin. We got eyebrows, mouth. And we're almost done. We're going to move on to the next video, video 5. And we're going to create the hair and then the pupils and then just do a little bit of tailoring with maybe an accessory or so, just to add a little more depth to it. So stay tuned, and thank you for visiting this tutorial by DAMMONSLLC.